Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Octagon Talk, TITTH number 99. Really close to 100. How we doing, Nick?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. We're here for UFC 257. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We got Poirier and Mcgregor headlining tonight. Really excited for it. What do we got coming out right now? We're still on the prelims here, Nick.
We have Nick Lentz versus Movsar Elov or Elov. Nick Lentz is 30-11 and 2 draws. Movsar is 13-0. This is actually the most lopsided betting match of the entire card.
Yep.
When I was looking through their fights, I did not see Nick Lentz warranting that high or that heavy of an underdog. Both these guys have gone the distance. Movsar is undefeated, but he has no knockout power. So I think he's just a real technical fighter and just gets those points and knows how to score. But Nick Lentz, I feel like he's kind of fighting for his career, basically. He's been kind of on a skid. So honestly, with Dana saying that he's cutting the roster down, I think that he should be definitely looking for the knockout and try and get that bonus, knockout of the night, fight of the night. He's got to do something to really save him because Dana's looking to cut people. And, if you lose, you're out, basically. So we'll see what happens. But I would put $5 on Nick Lentz just because he's such a heavy underdog because anything can happen in the UFC. I'm
going to do it right now. They actually moved his value to plus 525.
Wow.
Since we started the show, they've moved him 25 points there. Was it Movsar? He was at minus 700. Now he's up to minus 725. So a lot of action on this fight already coming out of the gate. Over under for 2.5 rounds. Over is paying minus 260. So the books are saying that this one's going to go the distance.
Yep.
If that's the case, yeah, throw $5 on Lentz. I'm going to do it right now, actually.
Yeah.
$5 bet. It's going to pay me $30 total. So yeah, I'll take it. Why not? Make a dollar holler on him.
Yeah, why not? The last fight that happened was the first fight of the card. Amir Albazi versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov. I actually had Amir winning. I thought he was going to win by submission and probably the second round because he won by a variety ones like Kimura, triangle choke, and then he did some kind of lock. But Zhalgas, he's only gone the distance, really. And if you kind of look at his picture on Tapology, he's kind of look like a tough-looking cat. Like he's been through some street fights and, has lasted. And you see his record, and it's a lot of decisions, either loss or wins. But I thought Amir was going to come out and win because he was 13-1 compared to Zhalgas, who was 13-4.
All right, right on. I'm going to make, like I said, a dollar holler on Lentz. Got my $5 in. Like I said, it's going to pay me 30. So I like it. They just touched gloves. They're getting taken off here. We'll give you some live updates on that as it comes along here. But let's jump over to the main card. First fight up, we've got the ladies fighting. We've got Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Hebes. Hebes coming in at minus 330 on the money line. Rodriguez plus 270. To go the distance here, we're looking at minus 210 on the over-under of 2.5 rounds, plus 170 to the under. What's your instant take for this fight here, Nick?
To be honest, I think Mariana Rodriguez is a very boring fighter. When I was looking through her card, It was a lot of decisions. She hasn't really lost except her last loss, which is against Carla Esparza, who actually came in as the strawweight champion of Invicta. That's how she got her start in the UFC when they did the tough house of the strawweights. So she lost that one, but before that, it was either a draw or a win. But that doesn't give me any hope for that fight. That means that she doesn't have much knockout power. In the UFC, you got to have knockout power. No matter what weight you are, you got to have knockout power for yourself. But Hebes, she has won a lot by rear naked choke, arm bar. She took out Paige Van Zandt her last win. Her last actual fight. She had a canceled bout, but won by armbar, and then she won by rear naked choke. She won by punches.
Lentz in trouble.
Oh man, this is interesting because he did not have any kind of submission power or any kind of submission.
He's getting after it.
Yeah, he's definitely getting after it.
Let's go.
Well, Lentz is going to get cut on this. This is quick.
No, Lentz has got him. I'm sorry. Lentz is in black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I told you he was fighting for his career.
About to catch that ticket early on here. We're about 2 minutes into the first round, and Lentz has got
okay. Good
Evlov in a nice choke here. He's getting back up to it though. He's starting to get his ground back, using the cage to get himself up.
That's such a tiring position with them. You know,
they're going to be in this spot though for probably the remainder of the round. I doubt he gets loose.
Lentz needs to keep control. See, told you, man. When you're fighting for your career, man, you got to do something, and this is the quickest way to get right back in the good graces of Dana White.
Yeah, he's off to a great start.
Keep cranking that.
Oh,
let it go.
Let's see what he does here.
Good job not giving up your back. Half guard. But yes, you know, Hebes, she's won by a variety of different ways. She's a lot more explosive than Rodriguez. So I think Hebes is going to win. I'm going to say it's going to go to the second round. I don't see it going to the third round. I think Hebes is going to try and pull something off just to, you know, she if she's feeling in trouble, she'll pull something off. She does have that ability. So I'm going to say second round submission, some kind of way for Hebes.
I agree, but I'm going to go a step further, and I'm going to say to take the under 2.5 because I think she submits her in the first.
Ooh.
I think she's going to make quick work of Rodriguez. Rodriguez's strength is coming in with all the power, right? You know, she does have some knockout ability. The main strategy that she's going to try to produce is stay away from Hebes. If she goes to the ground with Hebes, it's going to be over, and it's going to be over quick. So I think that Hebes is going to catch her, you know, swinging for the fences early on, and she's going to make her tap in the first round. So
that'd be exciting.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, and I think we're going to get off to a great start on this card, on the main card. They're going to be taking off for the first fight here. Hebes is coming in. You know, she's only have I think 2 fights in the UFC now.
Hebes, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So 4 fights in the UFC now.
This is her 5th.
Still a relatively new fighter, you know, to the UFC. So I think that she's going to come out with a bang to start this main card, and you know, kind of show or show the world what she's all about. You know, we're kicking off a big card here for 2021, and they're going to be the first part of it. So I think she sets the fireworks off early. Give me Hebes with the submission in the first round, and that's my favorite pick is just under 2.5. I don't think Rodriguez is going to finish her. So yeah, give me Hebes under 2.5 to start this one off.
All right. So the next fight we got is Andrew Sanchez and Mahmoud Murdov. When Justin brought this guy up, Murdov, to me, he was very impressive. Like just looking at his record, he's had a lot of wins, and it definitely seems like there's been a lot of canceled bouts for him, and they're just trying to get him a fight. Like he's that kind of explosion. Against his opponent, though, I think he's just a little too much for him. You know, he lost against Vittori in a decision, lost against Jans by punches, Smith by head kicks. His record is not as impressive as Murdov, so I'm gonna take Murdov in. I'm gonna say first round. He's gonna definitely try and set off some fireworks because he's been itching to get at the cage, and you know when fighters haven't been fighting for a while, they want to come out swinging and earn that big paycheck for that bonus.
And he's gonna be fit. He's been having fights pushed back, canceled, like Nick said. Dana's been trying to showcase him. He's been trying to put him out there, but all these fights just keep getting blown up. Sanchez is coming off of a first round TKO to Wellington Thurman. It was an awesome fight. It was entertaining, but realistically, I feel like that's the only reason that he's even in this fight is just because he's coming off a strong performance. He's an entertaining fighter. I'm sure we'll see him, showcasing the mullet tonight, business up front, party in the back. You know, he's very entertaining inside the ring. You know, gives you the come here, let's go, come on, what are we waiting for type of style. And that's not going to be, this is the style he wants versus Murdev tonight. He does not want the smoke. For Sanchez to win this fight, he's going to need it to go to the distance, and he's going to need A1 boxing. Murdov is a student of Floyd Mayweather. Like, the guy's not messing around. He's minus 190 on the money line, and I think that they don't have that evaluated appropriately. I think he should be closer to minus 250, minus 300, because I think he's going to come out and smoke Sanchez, and I will take it under the 2.5 as well with the KO. I do think he can finish him inside the first round. If he doesn't, I feel like Sanchez is coming into the second limping, like really, like, you know, doctors are inspecting his legs and his arms, like, you know, whether someone's checking him out, like to make sure, like, oh yeah, you're going to be good for the second round. I do not see this one going the distance. They have it at minus 160 to go over 2.5. I don't like that. I think that's a really good bet. Take the under 2.5. It is very close still with Sanchez being at plus 165. So I think the best bet is the under 2.5.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see that Sanchez did beat Khalil Roundtree, who's fighting on the undercard.
We'll see him up next.
But he's very explosive. I think you told me that he's like the highest odds for like fight of the night or knockout of the night.
Performer of the night. Yeah.
It's because when he got into the tough house, he fought against another guy at light heavyweight and he got him down the ground. And when he's on her knees and the hands are on the ground, you can't kick him in the head, obviously.
Right.
So he's like, nah, not going to kick him in the head. I'm going to kick him in his side, and literally just knock the air out of him. And he was just like, just brutal. So Sanchez beat him in the tough finale, but you know, he's going up against a different opponent. So I think he's still going to have to bring his A game, and I'm not sure if he's going to bring it tonight.
Yeah, so we're both taking Muradov there. He is the favorite, minus 190 on the money line. I do have Hebes and Muradov in my 4-fighter parlay. We'll kind of wrap that up as we go along here. The next one we have Jessica I versus Joanne Calderwood. Calderwood, the favorite by an edge here, minus 118 on the money line to Jessica I's minus 102. The biggest odds favorite for a fight to go the distance is going to be this one. Over 2.5 is paying minus 350. Under 2.5 is plus 275. Instantly, I do think it's going to be a boring fight. That was my first reaction. When Nick and I first started talking about it, it was like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be that great. Definitely not going to be up for, fight of the night or anything like that. Jessica I is a boring fighter. If you look at the strikes per minute, if you look like her takedown percentage, she has decent defense, but at the same time, that's all her fights do is just go the distance and she loses, go the distance and they lose. So I like Calderwood, but I'm not that impressed with either fighter's recent history. I'm taking Calderwood just because I believe Jessica I to just be the lesser of the two fighters.
Yeah, because I like he said is going to distance and she's losing, or the other fighter is pulling off something where they're knocking her out or pulling off a submission. I was actually talking up Joanne Calderwood to Justin off screen. And then we both looked at our records. I was like, crap. Like I forgot that, when she was in the tough house, it was a long time ago, but these are both fighters that are basically fighting to stay in the division. Cuts are coming. So
Lentz is hurt. Sorry. Lentz is hurt bad.
Man, look at his eye. He's not even blocking it. That's the issue.
It's tough when you see the fighters get to the spot where it's just like, man, everything to stay on the legs, right? Like keep all the energy there to stay on your feet, and your face is just going to take the beating from that.
Yeah.
But we saw it in the Calvin Kattar and Holloway fight. Like Holloway could have finished that in like probably the third round. Kattar put everything into the legs and was like, all right, we're going to stand up. We're going to stand up, but let go of everything else.
Look at Lentz. He's trying to pull something off.
I love it. I don't think it's going to happen though. Whoa, careful with that hand. You never know with these referees these days. It's a good back and forth, though. It's a good back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I have more hope for Joanne Calderwood for wanting to stay on the card. Jessica I, she's had a lot of negative events happen to her, and I think that Joanne Calderwood is a tough opponent to try and have something positive happen. Anything can happen in UFC, but I think Joanne Calderwood pulls off the win today. I'm going to say go the distance just because both have had a little bit of trouble knocking someone out. But I think Joanne Calderwood pulls it out. Agreed.
Next one up, we got Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. Chandler coming in, his first UFC fight coming out of the Bellator. Plus 130 on the money line. Dan Hooker minus 150. Over under 2.5 rounds. Over is paying minus 120, and the under is right there at minus 110. So the books are really up in the air with how this fight's going to end. Whether it's under 2.5 or over, or actually going the distance. What do you say, Nick?
So let me see. Michael Chandler's last fight was against former UFC contender always Benson Henderson. Left cross first round. before that, knocked some guy out first round. He lost to somebody in the first round by knockout, but probably swinging for the fences then.
Sure.
And then he did a triangle choke 2 fights before that. I'm going to say it's going to go under 1 round because Michael Chandler is going to come try swinging. Dan Hooker, he's actually I like him a lot. He did lose to Dustin Poirier in his last fight, but Dustin Poirier is going up against Conor McGregor, and I kind of see Dustin Poirier almost in that Donald Cerrone like mold for Dana White, where sometimes they become almost like stepping stones for like the next up and coming fighter because they've been such a veteran of the sport, and they are always going to give a legitimate test to whoever is coming up. And if it's almost like stages in a video game. You got to beat Cerrone to get to McGregor or whatever. I don't know. Right. I think Dan Hooker is going to win this fight just because he's had a lot more veteran competition. He knows how to fight in the UFC, and UFC and Bellator, like, to a casual, they look like the exact same sport, but it's almost very different athletically, like speed and stuff like that. Like, they're becoming a lot more even because they are getting a lot more of the UFC legends, but a lot of those guys are kind of like over the hill to Dana. So yeah, I'm going to say that Dan Hooker wins. I'm going to say that it's going to be a decision.
That's tough. I think you're right on the decision. I agree with you on Dan Hooker as well. Michael Chandler, not going to be used to this type of level of competition. Like you said, iron sharpens iron, and Dan Hooker has still been fighting elite competition in the UFC.
Can we just go over the names real quick of like who he's fought, because they're like pretty legitimate.
So I was going to do that. So okay, he went the distance with Poirier. He went the distance. That was a great fight. Lost in decision. Not much you can do, right? That's tough. But Chandler is not Poirier. He's not on that McGregor level either, who Poirier's fighting tonight. He has beat Gilbert Burns. He beat Al Iaquinta, right?
Decision.
Those are huge wins. The loss to Edson Barboza is tough, but if you watch that fight, Barboza really went after Hooker's legs, and that's going to be his biggest advantage tonight, his reach and his kicking reach, right? Chandler's, biggest, positives, or at least the way that he can, win this fight, the fight script for him is get Hooker to the ground and get on top of him and stay on top of him. When you look at his knockouts in the Bellator, he's always on top of somebody. He's always knocking their head into the canvas. I don't see that coming up against Dan Hooker tonight. I don't think he can submit him. I think the experience is going to be there for Hooker. We can kind of dive into some of the other opponents that he's had, but when you compare, the body of work for Chandler versus Hooker, it's not even close. It's not even close whatsoever. We'll kind of get to our wish list here at the back end of the episode about what we kind of want out of 2021. But Dan Hooker, when he wins this fight, like we say he's going to, he's going to be at least a fight away from a title shot.
Yeah, I think he's what is he, 5th? Yeah, 5th. In his weight class. But yeah, so the other guy that like kind of impressed me that he won was in 2017, Ross Pearson. That guy's been around forever. Like, he came around when Michael Bisping came around, because they were both in the same training area. It's just impressive to look at his overall record in a couple of years. The only fight that Michael Chandler really has is Benson Henderson, and it was a first round knockout. You can always catch somebody on the chin, man. You hit them in the spot, they're gonna drop, and that's pretty much every single time. So yeah, I'm saying Dan Hooker wins because of his experience. Yeah,
I agree. And Michael Chandler, like, he has an opportunity to debut in the UFC and really make a name for himself. They're giving him the opportunity. Like, Dan Hooker, it's not an easy fight, but I do think it's still doable for Michael Chandler. Like we just said, like, you can catch anybody in a round, right? How can he catch Hooker tonight? Does it have to be early? Like, for Chandler to win this, does he need to win it in 60 seconds? Does his window close? Like, the more we get into this fight, the deeper we go. I feel like it's a quicksand opportunity for Hooker.
Either he's got to knock him out in the first round, or he's going to be in for a war, because the only time he's loss was a decision against Poirier and body punches in the 3rd round to Barboza. And then other than that, it was decision. So you got to catch him. Like, you really got to catch him. He seems to be pretty technical, seems to be able to protect himself. He does not take too many, like, significant or haymakers, haymakers that will knock him out. Body punches, like how he said Barboza took away his legs. That's like a game plan. Going into the fight with a game plan and executing it, like he probably saw something on tape that was like, oh man, like we got to do this, and now like at least give me a chance, and executed perfectly.
Hooker could barely walk.
Yeah.
Like mid round, like he was practically crawling to his corner after the second round with Barboza. So, I mean, if Chandler comes out and tries that type of strategy, I don't feel like it's going to work for him because he doesn't have that reach and he doesn't have that size. I felt like Barboza was a little riskier getting closer to Hooker, playing a little bit more inside. And I don't think that's going to work out for Chandler in his debut. The way I kind of see it is Chandler's going to come out really aggressive. He is going to try for that early knockout to try to end it quick because I feel like that's what his corner, or at least or his team, is going to be pushing for him. Like, you don't want to be in the third round with Dan Hooker tonight, man. Like, you need to end this quick. Go out there, show people what you're about, come in with a bang. I feel like that's how he's going to be approaching this fight, and I feel like that's going to be his Achilles heel. I think it's going to be his weak spot, his blind spot, being a little bit too aggressive up against an overly experienced Dan Hooker. Who, I mean, can we get some Justin Gaethje maybe up next if he wins this fight?
That'd be nice. I would be excited about that.
I mean, if going from Poirier to Chandler, to me, it's a big downgrade. You just went the distance with Poirier and you put on a show. Now you got to fight Michael Chandler to start, 2021.
Basically, Dana's trying to see how far he's fallen in the rankings. You can always see exactly what Dana's doing with his fights, because sometimes, like, if you lose to a big opponent, like you got to go against like the bottom of the barrel almost in a way and work your way up. So
he beat Paul Felder, who's ranked 8th. So you can't go backwards after this fight. Like, he's got to be fighting. I don't think Tony Ferguson and him are a good matchup. I don't think people are going to care about that. Yeah, give me Gaethje. Give me Gaethje or a Poirier 2. But I don't think Poirier 2 is a good second fight for Poirier if Poirier loses tonight. I feel like, we want to see maybe him and Gaethje. I don't know. Or maybe Ferguson. Poirier and Ferguson.
Ooh,
wouldn't hate that. Wouldn't hate that. All right, but let's get to it here. We're finally getting to Poirier and McGregor. Dustin Poirier coming in at plus 250. Conor McGregor at minus 310 on the money line. We're actually about to get hands raised in this Lentz Eviola fight.
Looking like hamburger meat.
Yeah, Lentz does not look like he won.
I mean, he tried, though. Like, if I was Dana White, I would at least give him one more fight. He's probably going to fall in the rankings, but he tried tried like 4 submissions in like the first round. Like, he was trying. I knew that this guy was going to go the distance if he won, but Lentz literally tried almost everything he could. The guy just had great takedown and submission defense.
No, that was a solid fight, though. Very good scrap. Next up, we've got Marcin Prachnio and Khalil Roundtree. So that should be a solid matchup as well.
Love Roundtree.
Yep. But to Poirier and McGregor, can Poirier upset him? He's at plus 250. Is there any value in this number?
No.
Ouch.
We all know that this is basically just like the entry fee for McGregor to get back into the UFC. He's been gone a long time. The last UFC fight was for McGregor was Cerrone. Okay, yeah.
Ended him quick. Wasn't the bout that we expected, that we wanted. I know Stephen A. Smith caught a bunch of slack for essentially calling out the fight, saying it was boring. It wasn't that great a win for McGregor. Joe Rogan let him have it, and rightfully so. But there was some truth to that still. Like, as a fan, as a fighting fan sitting at home paying for that fight, pretty underwhelming. No, like at least Cerrone's performance.
Definitely for Cerrone's, but the issue is when these fighters start getting into higher age and the higher number of fights, like Cerrone had was 36-13 at that point. Like, that is a lot of damage to be taken. And even think about the classics, Chuck Liddell, Dan Henderson, those guys, you could literally hit them with a 2x4 and they would not even flinch. But as they got older, the ability to stand up to those crazy kicks and those crazy hits, their chin fell, and that's what happened with Cerrone. So Cerrone can no longer be a stepping stone after that. It's kind of like if he wants to keep fighting, he's got to start showing stuff so that he can fight at the bottom of the barrel and, maybe be like that lower level boss.
Cash the check.
Yeah, just cash that check. I mean, get a little bit of respect, but he's no longer that higher tier stepping stone. Poirier is becoming that higher tier stepping stone. So I think that's what's happened because it's so underwhelming of like Cerrone for performance, and you really didn't get too much of McGregor. That's why Poirier is the next fight, and they didn't give him like an exciting fight because 40 seconds, you can't see anything. Like you can catch anybody in a second, you know. So he just saw his spot and took it.
Yeah, I agree, and I think this is still a good matchup for McGregor. They could not let him go to Khabib after Cerrone though.
Yeah,
we do need to see a real challenge, and I think that's just what it was. It was Dana didn't see that electricity from McGregor. We didn't even really see if we could keep up. I mean, that's always McGregor's downfall or criticism is that he's not conditioned well enough. Even when I see him in videos, promo videos of him running and stuff like that. And,
I love those promo videos. They're so funny.
At the end of them, he's like huffing and puffing. He's done running. Like they're showing him like, oh, now he's conditioned. He's going to be more ready to go in this fight. And then at the end, they're showing him he's like leaning over like the wall of China, like all huffed over, like, I don't like running. Like I'm not that impressed is what I'm trying to say. For Poirier to win this one, take it the distance, man. Take it the distance. Right now, over under 2.5. It's plus 155 on the over, a minus 185 on the 2.5. This is a 5-round fight.
Yeah,
this is a 5-round fight. So the books are saying that this is going to finish. Typically for 5 rounds, the numbers posted at 3.5. This isn't normal. I don't like it to finish under 2.5 because I think that Poirier has better odds than what they're giving. I think McGregor at that minus 310 is all name. It's all show. It's all about the lights. It's all about the entry music. Hands in the air. I mean, it's all about the show to me. And I do think this is a closer one. I agree that McGregor probably will win. To me, he's still the better mixed martial artist. He still has, the better, track record, history. Poirier, he's up and coming. But, when you look at the two in their previous fight, there's not really much that we can really take from that,
Nothing.
But for me, McGregor, he's had a lot of time to get ready for this one. And his mental space is just right.
It's better.
Definitely. Tony Robbins is a goddamn miracle worker. I swear.
He's pretty good.
He is pretty good. He's got Conor McGregor out here saying like, yeah, I love Dustin. We're best pals. We're best mates. I'm going to endorse his hot sauce after I have a wee bit of a taste first. I have to make sure it's proper. Like they're sucking each other's dicks, on the stage, doing their weigh-ins and whatever. McGregor's just in that spot. Like, he's kind of being that guy, I feel like, who he is around with everybody. He's not the showman anymore. He's kind of trying to grow a little bit. He wants to get back to that top spot.
He doesn't have to prove anything.
He doesn't, but I think he wants to.
He wants to prove that he can still do it. It wasn't just like a one-off thing. That's the thing. My favorite video from this whole week was when he was running around in his mask, no shirt on, and his green like parachute shorts, and he was just like, or not shorts, pants. But when he like was in his room, kicking the bag in the room, and like he just had a spinning like roundhouse kick, and he just looks back at the camera, like, oh, that was it. That was the one. That was it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like he's I feel like he's zoned in now. And that's good to hear because the stuff that he was doing like before, like after the Nate Diaz fight and like everything with Khabib and stuff like that was wild. Like it was kind of like, man, like you're at the top of your game and at your profession and you're wanting to risk it all on just like throwing a chair. Like it doesn't make any sense. And I feel like,
not for someone at that level, right?
Yeah. Like that's someone that's like trying to like a heel almost like, and there's
he'll sell fights.
He can sell fights without doing that shit.
That's true.
And that's the thing is like, that's for like someone that's trying to make a name for themselves. Like, and I'm not saying that I would ever do that to try and make a name for myself. Do it in the ring.
We can throw some chairs around if you want.
We definitely can, but, I wouldn't want to put anybody at risk. There's a lot of fallout from that.
Oh, sure. Well, there was legal fallout.
Yeah. Like who was it? I forgot the fight. Was it?
I'm not sure whose fight it was at, but the chair was thrown at Khabib.
But it hit a chair and the people inside the bus. Like there was a woman fighter who sued due to like emotional distress and stuff.
Smart lady.
Yeah. Yeah. She
smart gal.
Picked the right one.
Yeah.
But if my question is what do you think will happen to McGregor if he loses this fight?
He's got Nate Diaz on deck. Like that would probably be the most entertaining fight, at least the most build fight, right? pay-per-view wise. Tony Ferguson would be a good one. Dan Hooker, who I've been talking up, would be a good one. I think they match up very, very well together, McGregor and Dan Hooker. But I don't think McGregor would take that fight. I don't think Hooker would, bring the views that he would want. He lost to Poirier. If he loses to Poirier, I feel like he's going to want a bigger name than that and just want to make that money. Get them pay-per-view buys. So I would say Nate Diaz would probably be the favorite, followed by Ferguson. If Poirier wins, well, whoever wins, they're fighting Khabib. They're fighting Khabib. Khabib is back. He's we're seeing all the videos of him talking to Dana, behind closed doors, all this, that, and the other.
Did you see him swimming in the Russian river and just like swimming in the middle of it, just doing like getting pushed back and just staying with it?
Yeah, makes sense.
It was intense. I was like, I'd be done.
Now let's throw in the bear.
Yeah, seriously. All right, fight the bear in water. It was intense. Like that was like a raging like river. And he was just in the middle of it, swimming, just doing his thing, like, gasping for air every once in a while.
You would think it's the toughness of swimming against the current would be the most difficult part. It's actually swimming through the rivers because it's so chemically based. It's
true.
Not taking care of the waters over there in Russia.
You know what? That's why they're not testing for radiation like steroids. Like that's what's happening to him.
He's got part kryptonite in his skin.
Exactly.
Just absorbing it all up.
But also, for me, it's also like he's doing it in freezing water. That's intense, man. That's a different breathing problem that you have. So he's incredible.
It's very rocky of him.
He's like the James Harrison of UFC, when you just watch him and you're just like, how does he do that? Like just constantly. Like I remember watching James Harrison lift before games. I'm like, oh man, like, and he'd come out stronger than everybody else.
Hilarious. All right, so we're both taking McGregor. It looks like.
Yep.
But is it going the distance?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it can go over 2.5.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I was gonna
the halfway point of the fight. Yeah, third, fourth round. Give me McGregor just ends it with a knockout.
I was looking at Poirier's previous fights, and when he lost, there was Michael Johnson beat him in the first round. McGregor beat him in the first round,
under 60.
Yeah. And then the only other one was a Darcy choke by Jung in the fourth round. So he's not really one to, and unless you catch him in the first round, always possible. He's not one to just let that happen. I mean, those are very spaced out, and it's been very not recent when that happens. So I think it's going to go third or fourth round for sure. If he gets McGregor in the third or fourth round, he has a chance, man. If I was in his corner, I'm like, you got to get him to the third round. You get him to the third round, you got a freaking chance, man. And that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to say I agree. I think McGregor in the third or fourth. I think the over under 2.5 is too low. So if you're getting that at your sports book, I think you should slam the over. There's some great value at plus 155. I just don't see either fighter finishing this one in the first 2 rounds. I think this is going to be a pretty heavy bout. I think we're going to see some bloody faces. Give me Connor in the third with a KO. Just gets the last one that finally buries him. Yep. Let's jump into some props here for tonight. So looking at the Muradov and Sanchez fight, they're saying going the distance is at minus 140. We disagree though. You're saying second round. I'm saying first round knockout.
Yeah, I'm gonna say second round.
All right, so the no is paying plus 110. Grab some value on that. Take it to the Hizzy. I like that value a lot. Not going the distance plus 110. They have it a lot more even right here. The difference between going over the 2.5. What is it? Where did it go? Yeah, over the 2.5 is minus 160. Just going the distance itself is at minus 140. So you're talking about 30 seconds. Like what the hell? So yeah, I like that a lot. Give me that fight to not go the distance. I like Muradov in the first. Nick likes him in the second. Let's see. Muradov by points is plus 200. Sanchez by points is plus 260. Let's see what type of value we get for
second round KO plus 550.
And mine in the first is plus 1,000. So they're actually feeling yours a little bit more. It looks like. I like that.
Oh wait, Sanchez by round 1. You think Sanchez is gonna beat Muradov?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't think so. And they're saying that if he's gonna beat him, it's gonna be at submission. It looks like, because they have the only option they have for Sanchez winning this fight. The heaviest favorite is by points or a round 1 knockout. So he's either got to take him out quick or go the distance according to the books here. Other than that, his best options are submission.
Yeah.
So the books are really on Murdoch here, and that's why I don't feel like minus 190. I think that's not that or that's too low a number. I feel like it should be higher. I think it should be at the 250 or 300, like I said earlier. Let's see, method of victory just by KO at any time for Murdoch is plus 175, which is the leading attribute here. Next up is Murdoch by points at plus 200. So the books are with us here. The books are with us on this one. They're saying he's going to get knocked out. Sanchez, that is. I can't really pick the point spread between 3.5 strikes. Like, I guess I'll take Murdoch minus 3.5 on points. That's plus 120.
Yeah,
I like that value. What do you think?
I can see that, absolutely.
Let's see. That's inside. How about this fight that's about to take off here? Khalil Roundtree versus Prochnio. Let's see. This one to start round 2. Yes or no? No is minus 140. They're saying Roundtree in the first, man. They're saying this dude's going to end him quick.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Starts round 3, minus 325. No. Wow.
Yeah. They're not feeling this one going into round 3 by a lot, it looks like. Goes the distance. No is minus 600. This fight will not finish. Best odds are Roundtree in the first round by knockout, minus 140. Minus 140. Wow. Prochnio doesn't stand a chance, apparently. So how can Prochnio win this fight then?
The way that they're saying
it's like
points.
Why are you asking me that?
He's taking him the distance. I mean, Roundtree is a very big guy, and
big guy.
When you have a lot of muscle like he does, that burns really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go the distance with them, they're gonna be tired. And you know, he's another guy. If you go the distance with him, you got a chance. So that's what the book says. They either Roundtree is going to knock him out in the first round, or the next heavy favorite for his opponent is taking him the distance.
At least Prochnio doesn't look scared. He doesn't look afraid of your own man. Roundtree looks like Khalil Mack, or I'm sorry, not Khalil Mack. Miles Garrett.
Oh yeah,
he looks like Miles Garrett's little brother, just with bigger arms. That's crazy.
He's 2 inches shorter, but he has 2.5 inches on his reach.
That's wild. Crazy. That's wild. All right, let's see what else we got here. They just pulled that one off because this fight's starting. You'll have to give us a second here. We got to scroll through these fights.
Mcgregor versus Poirier.
What do you got?
Let me see. Dustin Poirier victories in 2021. Over under 1.5. Under 1.5 wins is minus 500.
Dang, they do not like him winning tonight.
Jeez.
What else you got?
McGregor's MMA victories in 2021. That's stupid because he's only going to have one fight a year. But over under 1.5.
They could get after tonight. I mean, they could get the Khabib fight in November. I feel like Khabib has to fight this year. He has to fight this year, and he's fighting the winner of this fight.
We could see it. Okay, but do you think he's going to win both of these fights? If he
who, McGregor or Poirier?
McGregor.
No, neither of them will beat Khabib.
Okay, so you're on the under 1.5, and that's the favorite at minus 200.
Yes.
McGregor Poirier fight ends in first minute. Yes or no?
No.
Minus 800.
Yeah, that's a big no. I like Poirier. There's no way he's going to lose to this dude again in 60 seconds, especially with all the development that he's made. You know, he's got a great story right now. There's no way he lets himself get buried like that. They're both building their fight scripts. We've seen McGregor kind of come out with that Miss Cleo approach before with Aldo, just kind of being able to really sense what was going to happen. We're going to really tune into this Roundtree Prochnio fight because they're saying it's going to end in the next 5 minutes. So we might as well get in while there's daylight. We got a nice little standstill at the middle of the ring here.
Just
feeling each other out.
Testing distance.
Yep, feeling each other out.
Roundtree's got some tattoos since he's been in the house.
Roundtree absorbs one of the kick to the stomach. Ooh, trading legs.
That could have broken someone's leg.
The referee could have had his leg broken. And more touch and go with the legs and the feet.
Man, he's just trying to pick something. Mm-hmm. Don't drop your outside hand.
Prochnio with a nice right leg. Nice high right leg. Ooh, Roundtree with a couple of nice strikes to the face. Roundtree, when he lets his legs go, though, he's really opening up a lot of opportunity for Prochnio for a takedown.
Yeah.
Because he's putting so much power in. Let's see here. Roundtree just landed another leg kick. Prochnow with a nice kick right down the midway. Roundtree absorbs one to the stomach.
Prochnow looks like the guy who played Dr. Jekyll and Hyde from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, I could see that. Who was that?
I forgot his name.
Wasn't Heath Ledger in one of those?
Not in that one.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, more touch and go here. Tap of the gloves, tap of the gloves.
Come on, Roundtree. You got the power.
We're at 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first round here. Roundtree just misses on a big swing. Like we said, the books say this fight's going to end here in 3 minutes.
Ugh.
Roundtree lands a huge, powerful left leg to
his calf is feeling
to Prochnow's lead leg, his left leg. And yes, he was definitely feeling after that when Prochnow's leg was.
Roundtree didn't even feel that return kick.
Yeah. Oh man, Roundtree is just like pulling him back.
Yeah.
Just like loading and releasing really hard.
Yeah.
Putting everything into it.
Prochnow got to start putting stuff behind his kicks and punches.
Losing our stuff.
He's just tapping Roundtree, and Roundtree's just coming with like killer kicks.
Mm-hmm. .235 left in the first round here. Not going to pay as much attention after the first, but
yeah.
We're still waiting for the fireworks to come. Roundtree looks a little disgusted that he hasn't gotten anything big yet. Just got a nice jab to the.
I feel like Prochnow is just like way slower than Roundtree, and Roundtree's like not taking advantage of it at all.
Yeah, Prochnow looks like he's fighting not to lose right now. He's not taking a lot of risks, which I guess in this fight, going up against this heavy of a fighter in Roundtree, you probably want to sit and wait for your opportunity, right?
Weather the storm in the first round.
Yep,
because
exactly.
He's gonna be tired.
Get your sea legs under you.
That was right underneath the boobs.
Prochnow takes one to the titties. Hard left leg.
Yeah, it was.
Roundtree's been really high on those suction cups on his back. You can see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more touch and go. Roundtree with a really powerful left hook.
Prochnow's dropping his outside hand. He's got to Roundtree's just got to take advantage of that and just take him. He's trying to look for that overhand.
Yeah. Exchange hands there. It's not really the fireworks that we were expecting.
No, not at all.
Ooh, good leg by Prochnow. Good kick.
Good ward.
Mm-hmm. Roundtree is very telling. Very telling. You know when he's about to line up a punch. Right now. Yep, there's the leg. It's just because he has to put so much power behind it. You're not going to be able to hide much. Ooh. Misses a high kick under the last minute here in the first round.
He looks tired already.
Yeah, Prochnow doesn't look too bad. But again, fighting not to lose is not a winning strategy, right?
I mean, he's probably just trying to weather the storm in the first round because look how tired Roundtree is, man. I mean,
he does look tired.
Catch him
but Roundtree is putting everything into his attacks. He's putting everything in. He's trying to end it early.
Yeah. Look how low his hands are too.
Oh, he's definitely inviting. Ooh, great knee. Great knee by Roundtree to end the first. We got 25 seconds left here. Let's see if they brawl it out. Let's see if they brawl it out to finish the first. Knee. Yeah, it was a very good one to the abdomen of Prochnow. Another good knee kick by Roundtree. 10 seconds. Let's see if they go at it. 5, 4. Yeah, nothing that great.
All right, next one. First successful takedown. Who do you think?
Between McGregor and Poirier?
There's a lot of them.
Give me Poirier for the first takedown.
Minus 350.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Yep.
McGregor's plus 225. First to bleed, Poirier or McGregor?
McGregor.
Ooh, plus 170.
I like it.
Poirier's minus 250.
Okay.
Length of Bruce Buffer's introduction, over under 164.5 seconds.
Give me the over.
Minus 130.
Let's go. It's time to smash the like button. Let's go.
Yeah. McGregor's next MMA opponent. Here's what the book says. So favorite is Nate Diaz at minus 150.
Got that.
This is probably because of Khabib, but it says other plus 150 is also.
He's not going to get to fight Khabib if he loses this fight. Or is it just the next opponent Period.
Next opponent if he loses.
If he loses, he will not get a chance to fight Khabib ever again.
Okay.
That's why realistically I'm having him win, is because this whole like comeback is just about getting another shot at Khabib. The dude's spit in his face.
Okay. Gaethje plus 400, Ferguson plus 400, Charles Oliveira plus 800. That'd be a terrible fight.
That would be a terrible fight. That's a bad matchup. Roundtree's coming out really heavy, by the way, to start this second round. They're really dancing here.
He's probably pissed that he lost his bet.
Look at those eyes.
Oh,
Look at Roundtree's face.
So mad.
Oh my God. He's like, get over here. I'm going to kill you.
I'm killing you right now.
Oh my goodness. If fish saw a fisherman staring at him like that, they would literally swim to the ocean.
Yep.
Like, no, I'm going out of my natural habitat. No, I do not want that smoke. No, thank you. Oh, yeah. Roundtree's bringing it here. There's nothing behind any of these attacks by Prachnio.
Nothing.
I mean, it could just because he's taking all of this damage.
Yeah.
Like we've seen some big, some big shots to his legs, to his knees, to his abdomen. You may not have the energy to drive anything home because like none of the, like that right there just looked like nothing. Nothing.
Instead of trying to go for kicks with Roundtree, you should be looking for that overhand right, because Roundtree's a southpaw and he gets inside that outside foot
and he refuses to put his hands up.
Yeah.
Like Roundtree is so inviting. Oh, right down the midway. Prachnio right off the mouth. Took one right off the jaw. And again, you just see Roundtree just winding up. Like you see them coming by a quarter mile.
I think Prachnio is just like highly intimidated.
Look at the strikes here. Only Prachnio's, was that leading?
In the body.
Everything. 18, 11, 10, 11, 18.
But that's not significant strikes. Like
leading in strikes in general is not bad going up against a guy that was supposed to end you in the first. So I'll take it. That's some decent value. But man, take your hand off the side of your face, Prachnio. You're hugging that side of the face, but he's hitting you right down the middle of your nose, brother.
That damage is starting to take its toll.
It is. Yep.
He might have more strikes, but he's not taking. He's not giving as much damage as he's taken.
Oh, absolutely. Like they're like love taps in comparison to Roundtree's.
Yeah.
There's a good one though. That's a good one. Landed it.
That probably scratched his chin. You know.
Yeah. Don't break a nail, Prachnio.
Yeah.
Good exchange of jabs there.
Like I want to know what Prachnio's corner is like telling him like,
you're gonna go the distance. You're gonna go the distance. Yeah. You're gonna make it. You're gonna cash the ticket.
Yeah. I don't understand why he's holding his hand.
Yeah, I don't like that because every time I see him touch his head like that, he takes one off the other side cleanly. Cleanly takes one off the other side. Like unless he's not even cut over there.
Yeah, I don't get it. I guess he's covering because that's his power hand side, Roundtree's power hand side. But
something
it's bad technique, like
something technical. I'm not really seeing great technique from either guy. Like I said, Roundtree's really leading his kicks and his punches.
Well, Roundtree's very, very, very explosive, but
you're right. It's hard to hide.
Yeah, like he just jumps off the film basically.
But he's taking his blows here. We just can't really tell. What type of damage they're really doing. Because like we're saying, like it doesn't seem like Prachnio's landing any of these with any real contact or power. He's landing them, but what damage is it really doing to Roundtree? Because he's like, we're just watching him absorb.
Yeah.
And he just keeps coming back with this power. Let's see what he does now. He just had a really good leg kick. Yeah, we obviously can't hear the corners. But they're saying something to him. Oh, he looked over there. He looked to his corner. We got a minute left here in the second round. Looking like this one's going to go the distance. I haven't really seen any indication that either side's going to finish this one.
No.
I mean, that we've seen the power from Roundtree, but Prachnio's absorbing it. Like he's taking it and he's giving out just as much as he's taking. Again, we just don't know if it's really doing any like significant damage to Roundtree. Oh. There it is. Roundtree with a big lander there. Got Prachnio on the jaw. He stumbles, but he's right back up. Like again, like even what we just saw.
He just got him on the spot. Oh, his head snapped on that kick.
Good leg kick by
his shin
by Roundtree. Landed one to Prachnio's face. But again, Prachnio still standing his ground in the middle of the ring, not backing down, coming right back to him. We got about 18 seconds left in this round here.
Khalil Roundtree should switch up his stance and go from the other side because
he needs to do something different. He's just winding up and letting him rip, and that's not doing anything.
I would love to see the punch to kick ratio for Roundtree because it seems like he's doing only kick.
And you know what? I don't think Dana's going to be really impressed with that fight.
No.
So at least so far, I don't think he is. But let's jump back to the props here. We'll bring that fight to a finish here soon.
Most strikes landed: Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier.
Most strikes landed. I got to go McGregor if he's going to be the winner. Yeah, McGregor's going to
Next opponent, if McGregor wins, Khabib is favorite -200, other +200.
Really?
Gaethje +275, Nate Diaz +600.
I have to imagine that, man, -200 is actually pretty good because it's a lock. Whoever wins this fights Khabib. Dana's already come out and said, this fight's trending just as high as the last go around for Khabib and McGregor. So, what's Khabib doing here? Obviously his goal in his career was never to make money, but he just lost his dad, who was like a huge factor in his fighting career, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else is there left to fight for other than cash in the bag?
Happy life.
Obviously. He would be really happy fighting nobodies, but it's got to be McGregor again, whatever. Poirier, just because he's the next guy up. He's on such a strong run.
Right on the button. Oh, told you, shin to the nose.
Shin to the nose, but look at him. Just look at Prochnow. He's fine. We're starting the third round here. But yeah, those are great. That's great contact by Roundtree, but Prochnow just absorbing it.
It's a tough guy.
Yeah, I'd say so. That any of those legs to your face ever, you should be dead. My goodness.
I saw his head snap back, and I was like, "Oh."
Those legs are massive. Those things are huge.
So next one would be will either be knocked or submitted unconscious. No, -500. Yes, +300.
I think it ends in TKO either way. So give me McGregor for the TKO.
Well, it says will either be knocked or submitted unconscious.
Unconscious? No. It's someone's just going to come in and end the fight. Whoever, I don't know who's reffing tonight, but he's just going to come in and end it.
Will either fighter bleed?
Yes, both. Can I get both?
No.
I want a bloodbath. That's what I'm hoping for tonight.
-400.
Bloodbath. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, will fighters touch gloves?
Yes. Oh, McGregor is on the touching gloves side of things for sure these days. -800.
-2,000.
2,000. Okay. They're not giving us the value there. Well, $2,000 you have to bet to make 100.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Why are we even playing the stock market? Just throw $2,000 at that. Easy money.
Yeah, seriously.
$4,000 to make 200.
Will McGregor knock down Poirier?
McGregor knocked down Poirier. Yeah.
-300.
Yeah.
Poirier knock down McGregor?
Yes.
Ooh, that might be something you might want to look at. +250.
I think I will look at that. Like I said, I think it's going to be a back and forth fight.
That was the last one for that fight.
Okay.
Let me see.
I got Chandler and Dan Hooker here.
Yeah, let's go over that one.
So this one, they're saying that it may not go to round 3. It's a 3-round fight, but they're saying to start the third round, it's only -150 to the +120 on the no. I like Dan Hooker to finish this fight. Give it to me anything before round 3. I like it.
Yeah, I like the same thing.
Yeah, +120. Grab that, guys. Let's see. What other one?
Favorite is Dan Hooker by points.
For the win, I don't like that. I don't like that. Michael Chandler by points is the second. Dan Hooker round 1 TKO is +400 though. Feel like we should get in on that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get in on that +400. Or maybe I should wait for the Meridov one.
I think maybe second round.
I'm gonna do the Meridov one for the first round finish. May not get the same kind of odds though.
Dan Hooker by KO is the favorite method of victory. Second favorite is Dan Hooker by points. Mm-hmm. Then Michael Chandler by points +300. Michael Chandler by KO is 500. So it's probably gonna be a slugfest or points. So.
I feel like that's what Dana wants out of this. Like from Chandler and Hooker or Sanchez and Meridov, guys, go out there and beat the hell out of each other. Yeah. Bloody faces, going for the bonus type of fights, fight of the night performances. Like I feel like those two fights could actually be even more electric than McGregor and Poirier. I really do. Because I was telling Nick before the show, I feel like Meridov and Hooker are like the highlight guys for this card. Like the guys that you're gonna watch them fight tonight, and you're gonna be like, when do I get to see them fight again? And these guys are really going to create some buzz for 2021, in the UFC. Got to move it along here, Justin. Looks like this fight's actually going to go to the finish. We're a minute 19 left in the third.
I just watched Prochazno like fall over in like absolute exhaustion. So I mean, Roundtree's got to round up whatever he's got left over and just try and knock him out or something, because this is very, very disappointing, especially your past couple fights where you've suffered some losses. Roundtree's really got to be getting looked at for the cuts.
Oh, absolutely. And he did not look conditioned in this fight whatsoever. Still huffing and puffing.
He's honestly looked the same way from like halfway through the first round to right now.
You're absolutely right. And this is not a guy that I see billable as a 5-round fighter right now.
Absolutely not.
He should have ended Prochazno. I don't know. Round 3, significant strikes. Prochazno, this might be too close to call. I feel like Roundtree's the winner, but
it's just the power that we were seeing, and I think that that's what we're really mesmerized by. But Prochazno has stalked him at times, done a lot of significant strikes. There's really no damage on either end. If anybody's bleeding, it's Roundtree on his nose. But he's just had a few shots to Prochazno that have been jaw dropping. But there's an entire fight that we have to judge 3 rounds, and that's Roundtree's fault. That's why you don't give it to the judges. You try and knock him out when you can.
I firmly believe if this fight went to 5 rounds, Prochazno would have won. They're both putting their hands up. They're both saying, "Hey, this is my fight right now." We'll see the hands raised in a moment here. That was a good scrap, but for a fight that was coming in billed as clear Roundtree, he could go for performer of the night. He could go for knockout of the night. That was not the fight that we saw. That was not the fighter that I anticipated to see.
Vegas took a lot of money on that one for sure. Like anyone who had watched Roundtree when he first came into UFC, it's been absolutely mesmerizing, watching that guy, and absolutely disappointing performance right now.
Yeah, but hands off to Prochazno. That was a great performance.
Absolutely tough guy.
He was coming in as a big underdog here, and if he pulls this one out, I think he so far performance of the night for sure. If he somehow wins this fight, I think it's going to be split decision though.
Breaking news: Francis Ngannou versus Stipe will headline 260 March 27th.
Nice.
That's a good fight.
We will be there for it. We'll be there for it. I guess while we're kind of on the eyes ahead here, what do you think about Usman and Gilbert Burns for UFC 258? Early takes there.
The one thing about Usman is, with Colby Covington's mouth and what he had done, I thought Usman was
asking for it, bro.
I thought Usman was really just going to destroy him, and really it wasn't like a destroying, it was more like domination. He really took him to the ground and just held control the entire fight. Kind of disappointing for Usman. I really wanted to see a little bit more out of him in that sense, because he had more than enough reasons to just beat him senseless like a meat tenderizer. But anyways, Burns, he's an up and comer. Wasn't his last fight canceled due to COVID? He got COVID right before, because we were talking about that fight.
His last win came May 30th last year against Woodley. And then before that, he beat Maya. And before that, he beat Nelson. I'm thinking his last loss may have been to Dan Hooker, like what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Dan Hooker is his last loss. And, that was a while ago. It was his last loss. That was in 2018. Since then, he's beaten Aubin Mercier, Davis, Kunchenko, Nelson, and Maya and Woodley, like I mentioned. So he's just on a run. I think it ends with Usman.
Usman was canceled twice against him. So that's what I was thinking about. So.
Yeah, I think the run ends with Usman. These other guys really aren't that overwhelming to me.
He won against Maya with a left hook.
What weight did they fight at, Burns and Hooker? Because he's fighting at, what is he at now? Burns is fighting at welterweight, and Hooker's fighting at lightweight. So I wonder what they fought at in that fight. That would be interesting. I would assume probably lightweight. Maybe Burns went up a class, but yeah, Burns, that was his last loss. He's on a good run, but like I said, it ends with Usman. Dude's just a terror in his division, and trying to think who would want to see. I guess Usman. All right, there we had that for the fill-in versus Masvidal. Probably want to see that fight again. Masvidal versus Usman after that Burns fight. Would like to see Masvidal and Covington. That would be another one. Love seeing Colby Covington get his face beat in. So is super duper. It's always a good time. Jorge Masvidal, he's the guy to do it. He's the next guy to do it, I think. But yeah, give me Usman on that one. Obviously, we don't have any odds or anything. Burns, good fighter, not a great fighter. I think that he does have that skill. He does deserve this opportunity, but I think Usman makes quick work out of him. Actually, quick work, and I think it's a setup fight for Usman. The fights that he's coming off of versus this Burns fight, I think it's just a lesser level. He's kind of going down in class on this one. So Masvidal, Covington, Woodley. Before that, Dos Anjos, Maia. Like this is a lower class for Usman, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going to be taking Usman all day. If I can get him anywhere under minus 300, it'll be a win. It'll be a win. What about Blachowicz versus Adesanya? Go ahead.
That'll be a good fight.
Yeah. 259.
Very different styles. I believe they're fighting at light heavyweight, where Blachowicz is, because Adanya is the challenger. So I think that's how that works. I'm gonna take, man. It's kind of like Bruce Lee is a very amazing fighter, but you put him up against one of the bigger guys. He's got to do a lot of damage.
Sure. Well, if he doesn't fight, it's in his class.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel. Like Israel Adesanya is a smaller, what is it, welterweight that he usually fights at. Anyway, he for his weight class, he's middleweight. Sorry, he's really thin compared to like other guys. Blachowicz is just a huge light heavyweight, so it's just kind of like
What's the other thing? I was asking you about that. What are they going to fight at? Are they going to fight at 185 or 205?
205. I think it's 205 because
that is not good for Israel.
Yeah,
it's not great for him. But I'll still take him to win, man. The dude is a specimen. The dude is a freak. Shout out to Donnie. He's actually in the chat as well now.
What's up, Donnie?
Saying Adonis is a great versatile fighter. If he can add a little bit more force, I don't think he won't have a problem with Jan. He's already very agile and has outstanding awareness. Jan needs a KO to win. Needs the KO to win.
Yeah, it's just, man, going up to 205 from 185 or 185 it's a big jump. And I would have, if I was Adesanya, I would rather have fought at 185 to sap away some of that power of the light heavyweight.
Agreed.
That's what I would have wanted.
Agreed. But, absolutely.
You know what? I think Adesanya really wants to show that he can really kick some ass, and he's gonna go up weight class. Maybe he gets more power, because he's got to put on that 15 pounds.
That's true. That's true. But his versatility, his quickness, his lateral movement, that's what gets downgraded going up that class. You know what I mean? Like his ability to go 5 rounds may not be the same because he's been doing it at 185 for so long. When you're looking at that durability, when you're looking at the conditioning, and you're giving yourself another 20 pounds, that's not easy. Like I always said it before, like when McGregor was losing weight, he's like, oh, it's been a real bitch eating these salads. It's like it's steaks, not salads for Israel. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he does still have that same wherewithal to last 5 rounds with a heavy hitter in Jan. And I agree with Donnie. He is going to need the KO to win it. Adonis is very technical. If they get to the ground, I like him more.
His flexibility, I think, is going to stay. So we'll definitely see. That'll be a very interesting fight. I always like seeing those fights where guys have to go up or down a weight class, because it's always like, okay, well, you're the best at your class. Let's see if you go against other weight classes. And when they actually dominate and win, it's like, okay, that guy is a legit fighter. Like I think BJ Penn was actually the first guy to do it, win 2 weight classes and hold the titles. And then guys from the next couple years after started doing it. So it's just kind of like a notch on the belt. Like, hey, I won in 2 weight classes. And just like I'm in rarefied air.
Yeah, give me Adonis as an early pick in that one for UFC 259. You're saying we're getting Stipe and Ngannou for 260?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Stipe. Stipe is a beast, dude. And then he also like saves people like in his off time. So technically he's a superhero.
No, I agree. I'm going to go with Stipe, just going with the favorite there early on. Donnie was saying Israel's trying to also move up because he wants a piece of John Jones.
Hell yeah.
So
I would, you know what? That's a fight that I'm like, I want to see because those guys are very similar. Yeah. I would love to see that fight. Like, give me that fight all day.
That could break the Khabib and Conor records for pay-per-view buys, in my opinion.
Because they're bigger, because they're, you know, previous, you know, you think about when UFC really started catching mainstream, it was the light heavyweights and the heavyweights that were like, you know, you had Mirko Krokop, you had you know, Brock Lesnar in a later sense, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, Couture, Randy Couture, those guys, those are all big guys. And like, you know, it's really cool to watch the smaller guys because, man, they move really fast and they're very violent and, you know, it's just action packed. But man, when those bigger guys fight, it's a very different spectacle. And, and I honestly miss seeing those big guys fight. And you know, I actually got to see John Jones fight in Baltimore. It was the first UFC event in Maryland. I got free tickets because I was working at Metro PCS.
That's what's up.
It was awesome. He diced up Glover Teixeira, and Teixeira couldn't do anything about it. Like, it was amazing to watch John Jones, and I'm so disappointed in like how he hasn't been able to handle his success in a way where it's almost like unquestioned that he's the best fighter. I think he's one of the best fighters in the world. It's just that he has to be able to stay out of trouble to be able to continually fight and to keep that belt. I mean, he's got
and not be retired.
Yeah, he's gotten stuff stripped away, and it's always been like, oh, okay, well, you know, there's been this guy that's come up. You know, could they win? And Adesanya versus John Jones, that's two guys that are like, all right, let's see who's actually the best fighter because those guys are ridiculous. Like together, Blachowicz and Adesanya. It's a very different style and it's very different fighters. So I like seeing the guys that are very similar and go against it because it's like, all right, who's the master of it?
All right, so that would be a pretty good, you know, wish list fight, right? Is there any others that you would really prefer for 2021? Anything that you're itching for?
Let me see my heavyweights. That's what I'm looking at.
You know, Max Holloway's coming off a big fight up against Calvin Kattar. You know, record breaking. You know, most strikes landed in a round and all this other stuff. Very impressive in his win. Also, mad respect to Calvin Kattar, you know, really putting all the energy into the afterburners and staying on his feet, taking all that punishment. That takes a fucking crazy human to do that. I got to imagine that we see Volkanovski and Holloway again this year. And like November, October, I have to feel like we're getting that, or maybe even end of summer.
Yeah, I could see that. I would like to see Cody Garbrandt's got to do a little bit of work, but I would like to see him fight against Jan.
Okay.
He hasn't fought against Jan at all. He had a slide against 2 fights against Dillashaw. I think those were for the title. And then Muniz lost against him in first round, and then has won against Rafael Sunya. So I would like to see if he still has that alpha male you know, persona where he's fighting for the title all the time. Jose Aldo also, I would like to see Cody fight Jose. I think that'd be a great stepping stone. They're right next to each other in the rankings. I think that would be a great little fight.
Man, I would love for Benavidez to get another shot, but he's lost to Figueroa twice now. I don't know if he's going to get another one. So I guess he's got to fight. Brandon Moreno again.
Brandon Moreno.
I think Moreno was actually on Benavidez's UFC Tough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe he was. Yeah, Brandon Moreno. He's a squirrely looking dude. He's got a little bit more size under him now, but yeah, he was. Benavidez was his coach on Tough, the Asian baby, Brandon Moreno. That's a pretty decent season.
Baby.
The assassin baby. Sorry. Yeah, I'd love to see Benavidez get another shot, but I don't know how he's number 2 still. Like, if he beats Moreno, yeah, he deserves another shot. But Figueiredo, he beat him twice, back to back, his last 2 fights. So he's going to need to get a sneak one in there. What's another one here?
I would like to see, the work that Cody Garbrandt's got to do to get back into it. I would like to see him fight Dominic Cruz because Dominic Cruz has lost 2 fights. I think his last fight was against Cejudo. We actually watched that together. That was a crazy stoppage. I didn't really agree with the stoppage, but you know what? Screw it. Like Cejudo won. I think that Dominic Cruz, you know, he's going against Casey Kenny right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great stepping stone for him to like get back into the talk for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, give me him and Cody Garbrandt, because I love watching Dominic Cruz. I started watching him when I started watching WEC late at night on Versus. That shit was so crazy. And I really like Uriah Faber, who I met when I was working at Metro PCS. But those two were always going against each other in the lightweights, and WEC was just like, you know, Jens Pulver, BJ Penn, not BJ Penn, Jen Pulver, Uriah Faber, and Dominic Cruz. Those were the three guys, and it was always those guys fighting. And through the rivalry with Uriah Faber, I started respecting Dominic Cruz because, man, if there's someone who can make someone miss in the freaking ring, it's Dominic Cruz. Like, he is the shiftiest guy ever, and that's why he's able to go so many rounds, because he's just constantly moving. Like, he is very hard to hit. So you got to respect his game. I would love to see him back in the championship conversation in 2021.
Yeah, I would like that one a lot. Another one from the welterweight division. Give me Stephen Thompson versus Leon Edwards. Edwards coming off of 6 straight wins. Stephen Thompson's put together 3. I feel like the winner of that, they could really bill as the next contender in that weight class. You know, to go up against an Usman, to go up against a Masvidal, because I feel like Covington's going to keep falling.
Yeah,
maybe it's just all the Covington hate. I don't know, but I feel like he's going to continue to get stomped on a little bit. He just puts too big a target on his head. You know what I mean? So I think that's another good one.
Man, why is Woodley's next fight against Luque, who's at 10? I mean, I guess Chiesa.
Isn't Woodley coming off of 2 losses now?
He's coming off of 3 losses.
3 losses, yeah. He's
Colby Covington,
he's fallen.
Burns, and Usman. Man, he is fallen.
And Woodley's still at the 6th spot in the class.
And
he's ahead of Damian Maia.
That's a lot of love.
That's a lot of name recognition.
Yeah.
Damian Maia, though, I feel like he's kind of doing a little bit of the same. He's starting to fall. Let's see.
Give me Michael Chiesa against Stephen Thompson.
Maia beat Askren. That was his last win. Ben Askren. Oh man, he did lose to Gilbert Burns though.
Yeah, they haven't fought yet. Chiesa and Thompson. That'd be a great little stepping stone. We gotta just take Woodley out of that spot right there.
I agree.
He's not supposed to be in there. That's why he's fighting down.
So who could he fight that could really keep him at that spot or propel him up a spot or two? Because he's a billable fighter. They can build fights around him. He has a history in the UFC, and I feel like that's why he's up there. But I don't want to see him fight Thompson or Masvidal or even Maia. I guess Neil Magny or Michael Chiesa.
Okay, yeah. I mean, let Michael Chiesa fight him. I mean,
Chiesa will murder him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like you look at the guys above him. Who would you want him to fight?
None of them. None of them.
And the guys below him is like, man, he's gonna get killed.
Maybe if Gilbert Burns loses this fight and his next fight, maybe.
I mean, Burns is on a bigger streak than anyone beside Usman and Edwards.
So I'm saying if he loses 2 fights in a row.
Did Burns lose his last fight?
No, he's on a streak.
Okay.
We just said he hasn't lost since the Dan Hooker fight, and that was 2019, I believe.
Oh, no. From what I'm seeing right here, he lost against Hooker in 2018. Did
he lose after?
Yep. Tommy Lanky. Oh, no, that's at Polaris. Oh, and he's only lost grappling bouts. That's what it was. Yeah, sorry. I didn't see that. Yeah. Man, Topology is really good, man.
Well, yeah, they really dive into other stuff, but
I was like confused. I was like, you're saying last.
What the hell's a grappling bout?
Yeah.
It's like, well, he had an exhibition fight in his home gym up against this dude who was a grappling like a specialist or something.
You know what? Tyron Woodley should be 10. And he should be the stepping stone until he retires.
Yeah, Chiesa's coming off of 3 wins, so Woodley may not be enough.
Because Jeff Neal, he just lost against Stephen Thompson, who's 4. He's 13. Give me Thompson against him. If he can beat Woodley, he can take 7. And that's where it is, because he lost against Thompson and beat Mike Perry, Nico Price, Muhammad, Frank Camacho, Brian Kamazi. Yeah, I mean, give me Jeff Neal to redeem himself against Tyron Woodley to take that spot.
I agree.
Look at this. Robbie Lawler is 16, and he only has 1 loss more, like streak-wise, than Woodley. Like,
doesn't have the brand. Does not have the brand.
But he was a champion.
Yeah, sorry, man. They want name recognition to sell fights. They want a story, and a lot of these smaller card guys, they just don't have it. Like, you know, Tyron Woodley's story is, who can I beat? Like, who is still beatable for me?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these guys that are going against him, they see that name and they're like, feed me the name, because I'm getting the payday.
It's kind of like the legend in there.
Yeah, and you're just going to get a payday out of it, because you're going to get the views, you're going to get the buys if it does headline something, right? Even if you're, you know, third, fourth card on the fight, you know, you're still going to be in the mix for something with him, and you know that gives you the stage to blow up your spot. So,
man, do you know Ryan Hall? I'm looking at featherweight. So Ryan Hall, he does the 50-50 style. He literally just like goes on his back and like tries to heel lock you.
Okay.
He is 19th. He is fighting against Dan Ige, whose last fight was against Calvin Kattar. That's not a bad loss, to be honest. But he's 10. It's kind of strange to see that big of a difference in like the rankings for these players, or for these fighters.
Right.
That's an interesting fight. I was just kind of looking through that that ranking system. No one's really in there that I would really want. Let me see the light heavy or heavyweights. I was looking at the light heavyweights. Nope, I was looking at the heavyweights. Light heavyweights.
You know, for the heavyweight, you know, we're already getting Stipe and Ngannou, like we said.
Ngannou's great to fight. Like, if he doesn't work out in UFC, he should definitely go into boxing. Like, his hands are explosive.
I agree. I'd like to see Volkov get back in there. Let me see if they've got anything up for him right now. Yeah,
Johnny Walker.
He's coming off a couple of wins. What happened with? Did that fight not happen? They don't have a result for it. Blotties versus Volkov. I don't know. It's not a fight night, but he had a second round KO in his last fight. Before that, when he fought Greg Hardy, won by decision. I like Volkov. Powerful striker. I'd like to see him get in the mix for something. Let's see what else. Anything from the ladies? I was telling Nick, Amanda Nunes should go down to the straw weight and just win another belt. Just like lose 10 pounds. It can't be that hard. Salads over steaks.
Yeah.
It's like, why not? I mean, we've never seen a triple champ before. Let's see it happen. She could beat Weili Zhang. I don't think she can get down to the flyweight versus Shevchenko, but I think that she could beat this Zhang chick.
Yeah.
Why not? Fuck it. The women need something like to happen soon. Like, Amanda Nunes is just really going into like pure dominance mode.
Give me Joanne Jerskups. I can't never pronounce her name. Give me Joanne and
Polish chick.
Yep. And strawweight against Rose Namajunas. They had a fight where Rose won. They're 2-3. See if Joanne can do it. If whoever loses should fight Tatiana Suarez, because that girl has been undefeated since 2016. I think she looks brand new though. Let me see. When was her last fight? UFC. Oh, so so 2016 she's been since the Ultimate Fighter. So 3 exhibition fights. She actually fought and won with the Darcy choke in 2016. Hasn't really fought that much, but she's been undefeated, so she deserves a shot.
Donnie was shouting out Greg Hardy. Says, you know, for a heavyweight, he really enjoys watching him fight. Also, Johnny Walker is a beast.
Yeah, Johnny Walker is a beast,
and he also wants to see O'Malley come back, get his vengeance on Cheeto Vera.
That really sucked.
I lost some money on O'Malley's last loss, so yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. He owes me some cash, so yeah, wouldn't hate that. All right, you got another wish list or fight wish list to add, or do you want to bounce out here?
No, I think that's about it. I mean, we went over a lot of names.
Anything with John Jones. That's what I'll leave it with.
Give me John Jones.
John Jones, he's ranked second for men's pound per pound fighter in the world, and he's technically retired. So yeah, if they could somehow get Khabib and him matched up at the same weight, we would all be very happy and very rich with our fighting entertainment. So we'll leave you there at that. You guys take care. Be well. You got anything?
Nope. Thank you for tuning in for Octagon Talk.
Yep. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
See you
later.